Hi, beautiful souls. This is Marie Muller with House of Kellen, also known as a Spiritual Geek, and we're talking about soulmates today. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about, pretty much because I've been through the ringer and I've learned a lot of lessons the hard way about soulmates. So I know what it feels like to have that struggle, to be like, universe, where's my soulmate? And just be so mad about it, and then to work through everything and then finally be able to accept that love into my life. So I could talk about soulmates for days. In fact, I love teaching the ThetaHealing class on soulmates. So if you're interested in that, just reach out and let me know and we can set it up for you. It does require dig deeper. But the first thing that I want you to know about soulmates is to help us define what they are. There's a lot of different definitions out there, but one thing we know is true is that a soulmate is a soul that you know and you love, and you know them from some other time, some other places, somewhere in this pre-existence, right? This is someone that when you meet them instinctively, like, oh my gosh, do I know you from somewhere, right? And it may be, yes, you do. Do know them from somewhere else. There's this little bit of love that's already built into it. But I also want you to know that not every soulmate relationship is romantic, right? We do have these romantic soulmates that are out there, but we also, our souls have been all over the place, had lots of adventures. So we do also have soul family, right? We have soulmates that are going to be our best friends. Sometimes we have soulmates that come to us in the way of like the kitty that's on my lap, right? She definitely came here as this little soul that I love and who's here to just bring me unconditional love. So I want you to know that there's so many different soulmates out there, so that when you learn how to recognize soulmate energy, that you're not bound to thinking, oh, they're my soulmate, I have to love them. They're my soulmate, I have to accept everything about them, right? Because it could be that there's something that we call an unfinished business soulmate or just an uncompatible soulmate. Not every soulmate that we have is compatible. So when you start working with this energy of soulmates, you do need to have some discernment, right? And this is not something that we can muscle test for, right? If you try to muscle test, oh, so-and-so is my soulmate, your body is always going to say yes. And that is because you've got the hormones going and your body believes that person is your soulmate because they can feel all the love that's going on inside. So to truly discern if someone really is your soulmate, you're going to want to go up to the creator, connect to source, and be open enough to hear the answer, or ask someone else to check for you, someone who is not attached to the answer, right? Because remember, when we're getting psychic messages, sometimes we don't get as clear of an answer if we care what the answer is, right? So again, like I said, soulmate it's someone that you know from a different time, from different pre-existence. And we have a lot of soulmates to choose from, right? It's not like there's only that one perfect soulmate out there. There are many, because you draw a soulmate to you based on what your current beliefs are, right? You're drawn to each other because your beliefs are matching. So the more that you do the belief work, the more that you release, the more that you evolve, the different kind of a soulmate that you may get. So you may get soulmates who come to you just to push you to do the belief work to get to the next level. Right? There are people that come into your lives and maybe you have an amazing time and you're like, okay, I grew and changed because of that person. And sometimes it's time to let them go. So when you're calling, if you are going to manifest for a soulmate, right? Whatever manifesting techniques you use, there are some words that you can use to help you. So it's good to say that you want your most compatible soulmate, and also add that they are someone that's your lifetime partner. So your most compatible lifetime partner, right? Using those specific words in your manifestation is going to help you find someone who can learn and grow with you. Because there's some of the soulmates, and I'm sure as you reflect back and look at the different types of soulmates you've had over your life, there's some people that their resistance to growing is what helped you grow. And while they helped you for a while, it's just time to move on. So another note on soulmates and why it's so good that we get so many of them is a little story. I was driving home from teaching one day and I had just gotten probably the 5th notification over my lifetime that someone that I'd recently broken up with was going to get married. right? And I'm like, again, right? I had this story going on that I was the one who would fix them and then they could go off and have their families and the happy marriage and everything that I wanted. And I was a little bitter about this because it had happened so many times to people that I was madly in love with, but then I would decide for one reason, I'm like, oh, we're not going to work out. And they immediately go out and find their true love, right? And so since I'd been doing a lot of belief work, I was open enough to hear the answer. Because I went home like, okay, creator, what's going on? What's the real story here? And the answer I got was very soft. It was like, so Marie, all of those actually were soulmates that were ready to love you, ready to settle down and have the life that you've been asking for this whole time. But your subconscious fears wouldn't let them in, right? And then the creator said, so I sent you another one, right? Because that's the truth is the universe is going to keep sending you chances until you finally accept love. So I want you to know that you haven't missed your chance, right? During that period, during that time, I was actually talking to the person I'm with now, who it's so funny is actually the first soulmate, the first person who started this pattern. We're back together. And it is really beautiful to understand that, that we do have good instincts. We do know what love is, right? Even if we're rejected, no matter how many times you've rejected love, if you learn how to release all of that stress, all that trauma, all those misconceptions of what love is, then there still is a chance for you to call that soulmate in. It is never too late. And if you want to work one-on-one, just let me know, because like I said, this is one of the things that I'm very, very passionate about helping you with. So we'll give you some beautiful downloads. So do you want the creator's perspective and definition of a soulmate? And that you're worthy and deserving of having a soulmate? Do you want to know what it feels like to be able to call in a soulmate that can grow and learn with you? Do you also want to know what it feels like to trust when someone says, I love you? Do you also want to know that it's never too late for you to find love? That there's always more love out there for you? If you want those downloads, just say yes. All right, so your writing assignment tonight is just going to be to breathe into and to write, like, if you aren't with there, if you're in between soulmates, to write down just basically 4 things that you would really love in a soulmate. Like, how do you want to feel inside that relationship? And also write down what you have to offer them. And if you are with a partner, then your writing assignment is just to recognize all the magic that led you to them, to understand how divinely connected you can be. If you're with a partner and you're questioning it, then again, I want you to remember, go back and write down why you fell in love with them in the first place, right? Every relationship, every deep relationship that we get into, there's always something we're learning from it. So anytime you're like, oof, do I really want to be in that relationship? That's a question only you can answer. And you can answer it by writing down the good things and the bad things and weighing them out. And especially tapping into, why did I fall for this person in the very beginning? All right, beautiful souls. I hope you have fun with your writing tonight. I hope you have an amazing weekend. This concludes our love week. So we'll be back Monday to talk more in general about happiness. I'll see you then.